True Believers, Joel Powell, Spider-Man. Hey, Gadre. Good morning. It's KJ. Today's shirt, got this from my first deployment to Djibouti, Africa. So Djibouti bordered up against Somalia, and if you read the news back then, I don't know if it's still big in the news, but Somali pirates. So they had a bunch of pirate-themed stuff for sale in the BX there. I'll kind of go along with that today for my open comb shave. I'm going to be using my 1919 Gillette Officers Military Set. So this would have been a premium set that you could buy. And generally, only the officers had them, I guess. It's called the officer set, just because it was more expensive, and probably the enlisted couldn't afford it. But it's a really nice Bulldog handle. It's similar to a single ring, where it opens up from the bottom, and then it's a three-piece. This is silver plated. It's got some good patina on it. The bottom is pretty much all black from tarnish, but I kind of like the old look. And it has also, I don't know if it's going to come through on the video, but it's pretty beat up. It's got a lot of scratches and stuff on the handle, so I like to think this had some good use in the military. But being that I retired from the Air Force as a major, I really had to get the officer set for me. So what's in this set? It's got a couple of cases. These are both the exact same. They're not salt and pepper shakers, but they just have some ventilation holes on top, and they've got a little thing on the bottom to allow you to push it up from the bottom. So this brush did not come with a set, but this is the type of brush that would have come with the set. So this is a little teeny Gillette rubber set brush. So that would have stored right in there, and then to get it out, you would just push it up to access the brush. The same thing with the other side, although the other side you would put most likely a shave stick in that side. Also, there are two blade holders. That's what these things are, blade holders. So there is some original Gillette blades in them. So generally speaking, one of them would be for new blades and one of them would be for old blades. But this is an original, old, still sealed, 3-hole Gillette blade. So one of these days I might pull one of these out and actually try to use it. I'm not sure, the edge might be corroded, but might be worth a try. So that is one of my favorite pieces. I'm out of theme soaps for this month. I do have a couple sets from Razor Rock coming in, so once those come in, I'll be able to continue with my Razor Rocktober shaves. But I decided to use Jeeves' Hudson Street Conservatory, which is the old name for what is now called Mountain Rain. So Mountain Rain Conservatory, exact same scent, and this is in my top 5, if not my top 3 all-time favorite scents. I love it. It's just it's hard to describe, but it's that waking up on a cool, crisp morning when you're camping in the middle of the forest, which is why it was called Mountain Rain, and Conservatory was the old name. So using my Eric Sorrentino, I like to call this the Count, for short for Count Luca Brazzi, because it's officially the Luca Brasi Shape, which is basically a chubby style. But for the TSC, we called it the Luca Brasi. But because of the theme of the color, I like to call this the Count. So Count Luca Brasi for me. But Jeeves, if you haven't used Jeeves soaps, you should really try them. They're in my top 10, if not top 5 soaps. There's just something about the lather that's different from most soaps. It's got an oil in it that isn't found in many other soaps. Babassu oil, Babassu. And I think that has a big part to do with why these soaps feel the way they do. And they just have a softness that you feel when you get it on your face. The lather just feels different. It feels softer. Excuse me. Than your average soap does. Brush wasn't very wet when I went to load. I'm gonna get a little bit more soap in there. This is a soap that I've got at least 3 backups of. Absolutely one of my favorites in this scent. Big fan of several of his scents, actually. Now we're coming together. Must be because I'm dripping lather. So right now that the lather is building, I can totally feel a difference. The soap just feels better than any other lather. So it's really an experience that you gotta try. I don't know. It just feels like there's a softness there. There's a smoothness that your skin just feels, and it's really weird. You just get used to a soap lather, and I don't know if it's harsh, but we just get used to it. But it just feels different, and I keep saying that, but I can't really describe why it feels different. Alright, so 1919 is what the serial number on this razor corresponds to. So it's 99 years old. Contrast this to the 1918 old type that I used yesterday. Not quite as smooth as that one, but it's pretty close. I seem to be getting in a pretty good shape right now. But the handle is definitely heavier, which is nice. And obviously a little thicker, so a little bit more comfortable to hold on to. I can probably just due to the age and maybe some of the patina, but I'm really smelling some of that metal smell off of the razor when I was shaving under my nose. So it's probably the thing I dislike the most out of that razor. I don't know if it's just the silver or because it's worn or tarnished, but it's kind of stinky. But got the smell from the mountain rain, and that's just fixing everything. So I put the lather on my face after that first pass. This lather feels even better. Really, seriously, if you haven't tried Jeeves soaps, you might not find them to be elite, definitely in tier 1, but that feeling that you get with that lather on your face is almost second to none. In that category, they are absolutely the tops. Pretty good slickness. It's definitely not quite as smooth as yesterday's old type was. A bit more rough in a couple areas. Let's see if on the third pass, if I can get it as close as that one did. Probably not. So you can probably see on this third pass lather, it's not quite as thick. I'm not getting the volume that I did on my first 2 passes, but the lather's just coming out of the brush. If I was concerned about it, which I'm not, I would go back to the tub and just grab a little bit more soap. Sometimes the lather will dry out a little bit, so that's why I'm adding a little bit more water to my lather. But there's no shame in going back to the tub or back to the puck to get some more soap if your subsequent passes aren't up to snuff. Sometimes you just didn't get enough soap loaded the first time, even though maybe you loaded for 30-40 seconds and you think you had enough. Maybe you still don't. Maybe the brush just released all the lather the first couple of passes and you're not left with very much. So I think that water helped to bring it back quite a bit. I could probably get a little bit more in there. I don't know, some people have a hang up. They think that once they load up on the soap, there's no reason to go back to the puck, but I don't know why that would be a hang up. It's not indicating a failure on your part to load. Maybe they're just stingy and don't want to go back to the puck, I don't know. But soap's cheap, so go back and get more if you need it. Saw Rich's shave with his gem Micromatic. Who, coincidentally, if you couldn't already tell from his username, Major Rich, was also a major in the Air Force. Anyways, he got pretty bloody yesterday. Rich, when you use a Micromatic, you definitely want to hold that thing flat against your face as much as possible. Micromatics will definitely bite you, as you found out. So try to get as shallow of an angle as you can. So that's close, but that's not nearly as close as I was getting from yesterday's Army issued old type. It's a good shave, but it's just not the same as that I got yesterday off of those exact same passes. Let's see what's coming up. We got Kansas City Wet Shavers meetup next weekend. I've got another Masonic meeting coming up in a week. We're going to be doing a 3rd degree. So that means raising up another candidate to be a full Master Mason. So we'll be practicing for that this week, and then we'll be doing it next week, Monday. Then after that, I think I'm going to be traveling. Be going to Vegas for work. I'm really hoping to, I kind of wanted to do it last time, but didn't have the opportunity. Zach Bagans, who does the Ghost Encounters show, I think that's the name of it. He's got a haunted museum in Las Vegas that I really want to check out. And then I think I'm going to have a Halloween party at the end of the month. Probably the weekend right before Halloween, because Halloween falls on a Wednesday, I think. It's in the middle of the week. So the Saturday before, I think I'm going to have a Halloween party at my house. Alright, so I've talked long enough, shaved long enough. Do a quick wrap up with some witch hazel. And the Mountain Rain aftershave. So good. All right, so if you haven't checked us out, www.theshavingcadre.com. I'm Spider. We'll see you on the forums. Rock on.